I mean, the whole purpose of credit is to use someone else's resources to make money faster than you have to pay it back. Right. It's the highest virtue.
Welcome to the Your Peak Life podcast. Let's conquer the summit of life and reach the apex of our potential.
Good morning and welcome back to the Your Peak Life podcast. We have a special guest today. We're going to talk about your inspiration behind all of this little run we just went on here at Iron Valley, putting some things together. But we are here with Dwayne Financial Chocolate Jenkins with Credit Kwon Do. So we're going to get it started, man. We're going to dive right in. Yeah. Just tell us a little bit about you, what you do, how long you've been in the game, how you got here, you know, where you're from, all that fun stuff.
So my job title is credit consultant. But if you want to ask me what I do, it's going to be save lives, right? I would say that credit is the most important thing in life. Now, I know that's a hot take. I do have people.
I mean, it's pretty high on my list, man. What are you going to do without credit? To be honest, like, you want a car, you want a house, you want to build a legacy and leave something behind. Like, how are you going to do that without credit? Okay,
but you get that. And yes. I'm gonna be honest with you, go off script a little bit, but you get that. And that's why I have that respect from a distance. There's people in our industry that they don't realize how much inspiration they give to me. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you, yeah, I post that I get up at 4 a.m., but I don't always feel like it. And sometimes 3:59 becomes like 4:09 and 4:12, and I'm at risk. And you know what? I might picture Kobe standing right over my shoulder. Right. I might picture Mike standing right over my shoulder. Like, okay, it's that accountability. It's that energy that you get from like-minded people. So you get how important credit is. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta have it.
Ambitious people understand how important credit is, because when you look at life, if you could imagine yourself climbing a mountain, if you're at the bottom of a mountain, near the valley.
Yeah, I see where this is going.
You see near the valley. You know, your view is going to be affected by where you're at on the mountain. As you get higher, your view changes, right? And that's what ambitious people are like. You're always going to want something that's just out of your reach. And I mean, the richest man in the world financed the purchase of Twitter. I mean, think about that, right. You know? So that speaks to how important credit is. And I just wish some of the people that are out here that didn't get that education, I wish they would look at, hey, this is what Elon Musk is doing. Yeah. This is what Zuck is doing.
And there's a difference between personal credit and business credit, right?
Yeah, so business credit. It's all over the place.
A lot of people don't get that. So what is it called, the business score? It's called something different, right?
Paydex. Paydex is one of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they got a couple different versions of that. But yeah, man, I mean, we save lives. And, you know, I'd say credit is the most important thing in life. Now, granted, you know, if I got an 800 FICO score and I'm in hospice, I mean, it's not really.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
unless you're financing the care, you know. But yeah. So it's the take on how you're spending it. But obviously, to be ultimately, like, to go get what you really want in business or in personal life, you're gonna need good credit. You need a good resume to do certain things. Right. It is what it is.
Absolutely. There should be a gap. If there's not a gap, if there's not a distance between your hand and what you want, that brass ring, you're not ambitious enough. You're not ambitious enough. You're not trying hard enough. There might be we might need to revisit your goals and how lofty they are. So, you know, you close that gap by using other people's resources, right? So, I mean, the whole purpose of credit is to use someone else's resources to make money faster than you have to pay it back. Right. It's the highest virtue. So, yeah.
So how long have you been in the saving lives game?
Well, my life was the first one I saved. You know what I'm saying? I mean, back in the day, there used to be a saying, the life you save just may be your own, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, there's another saying that says you're the most qualified to help who you used to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that fits the bill, doesn't it?
I was definitely I was my most hardest head client. You know, I was the most difficult client I ever had. I might have had a 600 credit score if I added all three of them together. Oof. You know, yeah. I was at a dealership after my car caught on fire. So,
what kind of car? Now we got a whole nother story.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's go here. So this is back in the day. I embodied that Prince song, "Little Red Corvette." Couldn't afford a Corvette, but I did have a red Cobra. And just like a lot of people, this is back in 06, 07, 08, 09. So this is before I was social media, before social media. You know how people front, look like they got it, but they don't. Mm-hmm. That was me. You know that TLC song, "Passenger Side of the Best Friend's Ride." Yeah. I was the best friend with the car. But let me tell you something about that car. It looked good on the outside. The only thing that worked on that thing was the check engine light. That's the only thing that worked.
Stayed on, huh?
Yeah. And then like a lot of people fronting with bad credit. I was living with my parents, and thank God I was, because what happened, I wanted to trade the car in. And I went to this dealership in Newport News, and the man went back and talked to his finance manager, and he said, "Bro, we couldn't get you approved for a Twix if you had a Snickers for collateral."
Oh, damn.
So I just drove off in that car. And at that point, again, the only thing that worked on was the check engine light. It was like a coffin on wheels. You know, that was the excitement of my life. Am I going to get to my destination in one piece? Right? So finally, it caught on fire in my parents' driveway. It just caught on fire. And this is before Uber and Lyft. And again, I was the best friend with the ride.
Right.
So when my car burned down, I was walking everywhere. There was no resources, and my credit was jacked. And I mean, at the time of all the jobs I could do for a living, I was a debt collector. So it was my job to tell people how bad you are for having jacked up credit. And my credit was worse than anybody I talked to on the phone.
That's crazy.
You want to talk about super fronting. That was me. So I just became my own client because I knew about credit. And in a matter of 5.5 months, I went from a 524 FICO score to a 764. And then I was used to doing what I call the A&P method when I bought a car. You know, apply and pray. You give them your social and hope you leave the lot, different than when you came in. But that man, my bank gave me a check, and they were like, bro, they were just like, hey, you could go to the dealership and get what you want.
Go pick a car.
You could go pick a car if my financing is lined up. So I was like, damn, this is ridiculous. But I said, it's also ridiculous that I had money for all my Jordans, but I didn't have money to pay my bills. So I'm like, well, which side of ridiculous do I want to be on? And now that I found this side of it, I want to grab other people and bring them over here. It's like the Terminator. I'm not trying to sell you on this. Come with me if you want to live. I'll explain later. Lives are on the line.
Yeah.
So that's what this means to me.
I like it. So when did you start, I guess, servicing clients to help them repair, or I don't like using the term credit repair because there's a lot of people in the industry that aren't really helping people. They're scamming people.
Right.
You want to talk about that for a second? Because I know you probably have a point of view different than most on that.
Yeah. I do not use that phrase credit repair. If you look at my logo, it says credit services, right? Because people need advice to get to that next level when we talk about ambition. There's no such thing as a good or bad credit score. Or let's redefine it. The chart might say a good credit score is a 680. If you're at a 720, and the bank says you need a 750 for what you want, you don't have good credit. Right. Your credit is for you to have the best life possible. It's not what a chart says. It's what your life, your goals, your desires, and your family needs and says.
Does it align for your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So that person with the 720, they might need our advice. They might need our wisdom. They might need a strategy from us. You're not really repairing anything at a 720. You're enhancing it. And helping folks better understand it. So that's why we call go with services.
Yeah. No, I like that too. Yeah. Because a lot of people see it like, oh, they can give me a 40-point jump in 10 days or whatever. And it's like, yeah, if you do the work, if you actually communicate with them and do what they tell you and take their guidance on board, it doesn't just happen. You have to do your part. Just like somebody getting a mortgage for a house or anything like that, they have a part to do, even if you're helping them, right?
Right.
So
I understand now why doctors have to be kind of cool with their demeanor and not get emotionally attached. I have my tear ducts are so dry from sitting down with single moms, with children, with people who say they want it. And the time is not right for them to actually be serious about this process.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it is a process, right?
It is
you
a
have
process.
to give it priority.
Absolutely.
It's got to be important to you.
For sure. For sure.
So how long now? Basically since 2010?
I was my first client, and then you got to learn how to run a business,
Absolutely.
right? Just because you can bake a pie doesn't mean you're ready to run a bakery.
Facts.
So we started in 2013 officially, and we're at the 10-year mark.
Yeah, decade.
That is a long time to be in this particular industry.
Absolutely. And you got a couple people with you too, right?
Absolutely. And we're looking to grow that team because, we've got a great process. We've got the passion. Every member of my team believes in this. And now we need to expand the ability to service. So we're looking to deeper reach into, the Hispanic part of our community because everybody deserves perfect credit. And we don't want, a communication barrier to be the difference between you renting and owning or getting to where you need to be. So we're looking to expand that way so we can help anybody who wants the best for themselves.
I love it.
Yeah.
Edgar, Edwin, so some of my people may have people for you to connect with.
Absolutely.
So, are you originally from Hampton Roads?
From Hampton Roads originally.
Okay.
Yeah. My father, Air Force, so military brat, retired out of Langley. We just ended up, staying in Hampton, Newport News Peninsula.
Gotcha. What were you doing before you decided to change people's lives with helping them figure out how to navigate the financial piece? Because that's really like, you call it credit services, but you're setting people on a path to financial freedom, I believe, by giving them those tools, right?
What was I doing before that? That's a really great question. I could give the paper answer, but I believe what I was doing was, they say life is a school of hard knocks. I believe that my life was in training to do what I'm doing now. So, I could look back. I had a problem beating myself up. Like my self-talk is very harsh. Like if I talk to other people the way I talk to myself, I wouldn't have no friends or anybody to work with me.
You hold yourself more accountable.
Absolutely. So I used to look at myself like, what was I doing? I was wasting my life. I was doing dumb stuff. But no, I was in training. I was on the other side of this so I could see it and understand what a customer feels like. Yeah. So I feel like I was in training, and I feel like it's changed my life to take on the perspective of everything happens for you, not to you.
Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. And I think I had to shed some layers of a victim mentality.
Absolutely.
To be able to do what I do now. And it's ongoing. There's no finish line there.
Never is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. So I was in training for this.
Kind of goes back to that. The person you can help the most is the person you used to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100% agree with that. And, I would just say that my life is dedicated to this mission of getting this message out here so people know how important this is. And honestly, if my life ended right now, I'm really proud of my team. I'm really proud of the customers who trusted us. I'm proud of the fact that they trusted our work, our process, and they've gone from past due to proud parents. And they're actually setting an example for their children. There's so much shame in having bad credit. But what about the story of showing your children what it's like to be in a bad situation, to be at a peak, go down to a valley, and get back on the peak, to show your children a firsthand example of resilience? Man, this is deeper.
Perseverance.
Absolutely.
Character.
Deeper than credit.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
So something that a lot of people don't know, maybe nobody even really, recently we created a training program. We created this podcast, but it was a culmination of many different things that happened. And then my brain started going crazy. Mm-hmm. So back in June, I went to the Glover U Live Unreal event. Andy, our partner Andy Nelson, was getting hired on as a coach on his team. So I met a coach. I hired a coach.
Okay.
Andy has a coach, even though he is a coach. So every week we have coaching calls, right? And each of our coaches tasked us with building a sales training program. And then I started thinking about things, and I always thought back to that post you made. You visited Iron Valley one day.
Yeah.
And you said something about you got to come to the valley to peak.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So both she's, his coach, my coach, after they tasked us, for some reason that popped in my head.
Wow.
And this is Iron Valley. Reach your peak life, peak performance, elite sales training. All of this actually spun off of your Facebook post and pressure from our coaches to do something that we hadn't done yet.
Wow.
So that's why I personally reached out and invited you first as far as not being a realtor to come on.
Yeah.
Because I actually robbed your idea and play on words to connect the sales training, our company, but also our belief system all into one.
Dude.
So
that's an honor, man.
it's crazy, right?
That is wild.
But I thought that had to be on record, that a lot of this was an inspiration from one sentence that you typed up one day,
man,
which I believe was a result of the people you meet every time you walk in our offices.
Absolutely.
So to me, that was like, this all goes together.
Wow.
And then the brain just started running with it. And obviously my partners bought in and supported everything that we've been getting coached on, because we just want to be the best at what we're doing. You know, that's all we're trying to do, is get better every single day. So that's why it went to peak performance. And then the valley and the peak, it just plays, right?
I mean, yeah.
And who do you know that's ever made it to the top that didn't hit rock bottom first? So, and it fits every one of our stories. You know, everybody's got a struggle. So it's just, I thought it was pretty cool, man. What do you think about that?
I'm honestly, I'm blown
You kind of
away.
been watching it unfold, really. I mean,
yeah,
so,
but not even knowing that whole backstory,
right.
So, man, I'm kind of blown away and
that I would remember one post. I
Yes.
wasn't even here that day, actually.
Wow.
And I just, I pay attention, but I read it and I was like, that just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And as I was trying to come up with something, I'm like, but then it gets worse, man. Not worse, it gets better. The building in Chesapeake is Summit Point, right? The training room in that building is the apex room. So everything just started falling in line so well that it was like, and then you talked about climbing a mountain.
Yes.
The whole sales training, we based it on climbing the sales mountain.
I didn't know that.
I'm telling you. And then when you get to the top of the mountain, what happens when you get to the top of the mountain? There's another one, right?
Right.
So it's the kind of entrepreneurial business, self-employed mindset of the work is never done.
Yeah.
But let's reach our peak.
Wow.
So all of that was driven behind, your Facebook post and our coaches pushing us to fill a gap, which I don't even think is just us. I think that's a local thing. We have people wanting to come to this training and wanting to come on this podcast.
Wow.
And, they see what we're doing. So I just think that was cool as hell, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. I saw your post. I think I reached out 1 second later. I mean, it was like, oh, I got it. I got to.
The next thing that we like to ask people is, this isn't just about business. This is really about life.
Sure.
Quality of life, which is why I think credit services are important. Quality of life can be highly dependent on that credit score, right?
Yes,
especially
absolutely.
in hard times like a recession or a government shutdown, things of that nature. So if you want to be prepared for those times, having good credit is a big deal.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But we want to get away from that, and I want to ask you, where do you see you and your team and your company 5 years from now?
Bigger platform, coaching. I have a passion for being on a stage, speaking to large crowds, so motivational speaking.
Really?
Absolutely. Success leaves clues, and Dave Ramsey has left a lot of clues as to what an expansion of financial wisdom can look like. Now, that's not an endorsement of him, but I mean,
but let's be real, he's the top guy in your field.
That's what I'm saying. So,
and he's there for a reason,
right? Right, absolutely. I mean, once you see somebody else do something, then it's possible, right? That's how once somebody broke like the 4-second 40, everybody started breaking it, right? Because you see it's possible, and now you can unlock something. So, absolutely. 5 years from now, that's where I want to be.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. After that, we always ask people, what is your peak life? What does your peak life look like to you? It's a good one, right?
That's a great question. And you know what? I would have to really think about an answer to that. But I know how to get there. I get there by attacking the things that need to be done every single day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm maximizing time because I can't be distracted by things that I know I need to resolve, right? A lot of our customers that we deal with, we look at the credit report, they've got a discrepancy from 5 years ago. Yeah, we're getting on it now, right? So I think I don't know what that looks like, but to be in a position to receive it, I need to be handling my business every single day. You know, there's a friend and she's a professional bodybuilder, and we have this saying, sometimes we'll text each other, point two, right? Like point two means like you're so close to the finish line, you're so close to your goal,
but you're not there yet.
You're not there yet, or you've gotten so close that the sweat from the winners that did every single thing that they needed to do, it drips on you. That's how close you were, but you're watching somebody else celebrate that. That drives me, just that thought, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. I think my goal is to make sure that all my ideas, my visions, my dreams come to reality. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when I see people like yourself, just you have a vision, you execute on it, it's a reality. This wasn't in here the last time I was in this office.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to see you execute on there, it just makes me realize, I'll be fine for one less hour sleep. You know, I need to get in bed by 8. I could stay up till 9:30.
Yeah.
I could hit the gym this morning.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to put yourself in rooms with people that want to make you better.
So important.
Like, if you're the best at everything in that room, you're probably in the wrong room. You know,
Right.
I don't want to be around people that are good at the things that I'm good at.
Right.
I want them to be good at all the things I'm not good at.
Right.
Because then that makes the team that much better.
For sure.
You know, and that we've been really successful in that, hiring well and picking partners well.
Right.
And now we see the benefits of that. You know, it's been the last 12 to 18 months has been a pretty good ride in a time where a lot of other people are hurting. You just got to work harder, man. I know people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Like, we're not selling houses because we don't train. We're not selling houses because we don't put in 14, 15, 16-hour days.
Right.
We're not selling houses because we don't lose offers. We're selling houses because we do all that and keep going.
Right.
That is really the difference. Like, but some people will never understand that. So we're going to keep taking market share. And as the world turns, we've already lost like 1,000 agents in this marketplace this year. You know, sales are down 23%. We're up 60%. There's a reason.
Okay.
You know, so
I have a question about that.
What's
What's your take? So I see a lot of, you know, everybody has a different perspective. I see a lot of doom and gloom posts, you know, agents, LOs, support, they're leaving the industry. It to the right person, it seems like that might be an opportunity. So, you know, you mentioned scams and, you know, credit, right? Those people are like distractions for my potential customer.
Absolutely.
They're distracted by that. And I've, you know, with thousands of agents leaving or people that aren't suited for this industry during this tough time, is that an opportunity? Is that a good thing, a bad thing? What do you take on it?
So my personal take, I don't speak for everyone. I don't speak for all my leadership. I'm speaking for myself.
Sure.
But me personally, I think that that's great for our industry.
Okay.
I think too many people have a license that they do not know how to use properly.
Wow.
I think too many people don't read the forms that they have other people sign.
Wow.
I think too many people do not understand contract law and should not be representing people. I mean, that's just the facts of it. You put a license in a Cracker Jack box, all those people should not be on the road. You see what I'm saying? The entry level is too low. People don't understand the repercussions of their actions. They don't explain them to their clients. And we need a better level of professional. So I think that the people making it right now are the ones that are supposed to. That's what I think. And I think if you want to become those people, you'll show up on Saturdays and Sundays and come to training and get the skills required to do your job.
Right.
Because COVID taught a lot of people to make money without working, and we need to get away from that. So that's my answer for that question. And if you're offended, it probably applies to you.
I know a loan officer that's tracking to do $120 million this year. and she's pissed because she's used to doing 200. And a lot of people would dream of doing that would be their career year.
Yeah,
and she's
for sure.
pissed over it. So I get where you're coming from.
And that's because she holds herself accountable.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like, we can give you all the guidance, we can give you all the tools, we can show you the example, but I cannot do it for you.
Right.
It's not how this works.
Right.
And if you can't self-motivate, or you can't get yourself to complete tasks or time block or whatever's necessary for you to reach your goals, this isn't the line of work for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's going to be on you.
Right.
You're fighting yourself. A lot of people get stuck in preparation mode. They never execute. They want things to be perfect. Well, life's not perfect. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. But if you don't try, you leave it too much on the table, man.
Right.
You know, you have to fail. You have to fail fast, and you have to fail forward.
I think one of the best things I heard, because you was touching on me. I don't feel attacked. I felt like touched by the wanting to be perfect and everything. But one of the best things,
but it's unrealistic.
it is very unrealistic. Done is better than perfect. I read that somewhere, and I was like, man, that's speaking to me.
That very much describes me. And
Yeah.
you could ask any one of my business partners. There are times we'll be debating things, and I'm like, just send it. Just
Okay.
send it. Who cares?
Okay.
Fuck everybody's opinion. What are
Right.
you going to do? Fire you? You work for yourself.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
just believe in what you're doing. Be confident in it, and people will follow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, but you're never going to be perfect, man. It's not possible. As a
Right.
father, as a spouse, as a leader, as a realtor, as a business owner, like,
Sure.
as a man, you can't be perfect all the time. It's impossible. Nobody is. Nobody will be. And if you go back and you look at, say, the most viral content on the internet, is it the cleanest, most crisp content, or is it the raw, rugged, or the funny, or the blooper, or the real life shit?
Right.
It's the real life shit, right? So I think people just need to stop being scared to be themselves.
Okay, so then here's my question, right? Because today's me would die. I would die if I had a late payment on my credit, right? But that was a way of life at one point for me. So I had to make some changes to get here. So
Right.
when you say done is better than perfect, and you have your philosophies and how you approach things, were you always this way? And if not, what did you have to go through to get here?
So this is funny because the last question on the thing that we typically ask is, do you have a question for me?
Okay.
So this is a really good question, though, because I think a lot of people think that maybe that's a trained trait or a practice trait or a learned trait. But for me, as long as I can remember, if I said I was going to do it, I did it. And you couldn't tell me I couldn't do it.
Wow.
And I think it's just a product of my childhood. Like, I just always believed in myself because nobody was really around like that. You know what I'm saying? I was in and out of foster care and an orphan, and, my parents were drug ridden. They're both deceased from drug abuse. So for me, I was always like, there's a better life. I know there is, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to get there, and I'm going to do it no matter what. And even through my first marriage, my divorce, how I left the Navy after 14 years of service, everything that I've been through to get where I am right now, I never stopped. Like, I fully embraced what you said earlier, is nothing happens to me, it happens for me.
Right.
I don't believe in losses, only lessons.
Yeah.
So when you embody those two sentences alone, and you get away from a victim mentality, which I had to get away from very young.
Yeah.
My mother wasn't there. My father wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be, oh, woe is me. For what? All my, most of my siblings have done that their whole life. I'm not going to play victim. I have a job to do.
Right.
And that's where it becomes different for somebody like me. When I joined the Navy at 17, you weren't going to tell me I couldn't make it.
Right.
When I decided to get out and do real estate full time, you couldn't tell me I couldn't make it.
Wow.
It's not possible. I don't listen, man.
Right.
I don't. There's an episode of this podcast where one of our partners, when I decided to get out of the Navy, he actually told me not to.
Wow.
But now he's a partner in Iron Valley Real Estate.
Right.
So good thing I didn't listen.
Right.
So I just I never drank the Kool-Aid, man. Like, I'm very performance-based, results-based. Don't feed me no bullshit. Tell me the truth, because you can't play me. It's not going to happen.
Wow.
And I have a bigger vision. I execute every single day. I'm disciplined. I'm determined. And I will not stop until we're number one. period. And nobody can tell me that's not possible because look at what's happened in 3 years. There's 745 firms, and I look every single day, and I know where we are. And some people are scared, so they're out there running their mouths or whatever it is that they do to bash us or what have you. But look around. Everybody's winning around us. There's a reason, because we're not feeding you bullshit. We get up and go to work every day, you know?
Yeah.
I just don't operate from a sense of something's going to fail.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Right.
Like if I'm going to a listing appointment, I've already listed that house, okay? If I'm meeting a buyer for a buyer consult, we're already under contract in my head.
Right.
If we open an office, we're already selling houses there in my mind. Like
right.
I don't plan to fail.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Wow.
Like it's not even something that crosses my mind. I know it's nuts. Maybe it's a gift. I don't know, but I've been through so much hard shit in my life that I feel like anything is possible, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've done a lot of different things, and to have accomplished those things, being who I am and where I'm from, I don't believe the narrative of I'm a victim, life sucks. Oh, why me? Why not me?
Right.
Can you handle it? Like, do you think that everything in life's supposed to just be handed to you? Do you think it's supposed to be easy? Like, do people think that people with supreme success have it just handed to them? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, there's a body of work behind things. There's struggle behind everybody's highlight reel. You only see the highlight reel, you know?
Right.
Like,
for sure.
It's little wins. Like, I finally, this morning, me and Edgar were in the gym. I just bench pressed for the first time in almost 2 months. That might sound stupid to most people, but for somebody that goes to the gym regularly, like,
right.
That's depressing. Right. That's a daunting thing in your head. Like, will I get back to 100%? How's this going to work?
Yeah.
I've been to 3 different doctors, got 3 different opinions. You know what I mean? So nobody knows you're dealing with that.
But nobody saw the injury, though. Right?
No, I mean, I'm not doing a monologue on the internet about it.
Right,
but
right.
I got
but I'm
hurt.
just saying, people might look at you and not understand, like you said.
How's he still going?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, because in that time, we put out a podcast. We did all that training. We did, you know.
Ain't nobody hurt doing that.
So
healthy people don't do all that.
But me, I do that, you know. But for me personally, to be able to do that this morning was great. Like my mindset is like, okay, I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Whereas it wasn't determined until 2 days ago, and that was the 3rd doctor I had seen, and I'm like, you know, struggling mentally. But I'm not gonna display that. I'm just gonna refocus that energy. So I shifted that energy into a training program, a podcast, you know what I mean? Like, but everybody's got a struggle. It's just the ones really winning don't bitch about it like y'all.
Wow.
Y'all meaning whoever's listening that's a victim mentality. Like,
for sure.
You know, another thing that happened over this last year, I buried my dad in July. So I hired a coach in June. My father overdosed and died in July. And then after I went to that funeral, I've just been in a different, like, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I really feel. There's no way possible that you're going to outwork me or the people around me for the next 20 years at least. Like, it's just not happening. Everything people know about real estate and Hampton Roads is dead. That's really how I feel. So, because you're asking about my mentality and how do I execute and how do I move, like, that's what I really think. That's what I really feel. Because too many people in our industry are full of shit and not taking care of people.
I don't have a real estate license and I just got goosebumps. Oh my God.
But it's real, man. I like, pick your favorite realtor. Why? Just because they post shit on the internet? Go check their numbers. See if they even do deals.
Right.
When's the last time they sold a house?
Right.
Your clothes don't mean shit. Your car don't mean shit.
Right.
How you treat people and how well you do your job, that's how you're going to make it right now.
Wow.
You don't get to fake it no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
oh my God. So off of that, I have a comment, if it's okay, and then I have a yeah.
That's fine. No, it's an open dialogue, bro.
So
it's our podcast. This is America, and last time I checked, we fought for these freedoms. So you can say whatever you want.
Oh man. So all right. So this is not anybody that I have an active relationship with, but you know, we talk about, you know, one of the questions was, what's the difference with brokerages you visited? Right.
Oh, I did ask that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk about brokerages I visited.
But here's what I tell people.
Yeah.
I'm in no way here to bash anybody. You don't have to say no names.
I'm not.
I'm just asking, what is the landscape of the industry from your perspective?
Consistent culture. Consistent culture is one separator that I see here. And I'm not saying it's not in other places, but what I am saying, I've definitely been treated with mad love. Oh my God, dude. I mean, the Newport News, before I open the door, I feel like Edwin Love. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, don't get me started on Emmy in Chesapeake. I mean, I went all the way to Elizabeth City for the grand opening.
Yep,
I mean, the freaking CEO
of the whole company was there.
Of the whole company. I mean, we just out there kicking it.
Yep.
I mean, you know.
Because we're real people.
We're real people. So I think it's a consistent culture from office to office. I feel the love. And
we appreciate your support too.
Right.
You know, because there's a lot of people with preconceived notions or hearing things from other people that don't really come tap in.
Right.
People like yourself take the opportunity to come out and meet and greet and get to know people.
For sure.
And formulate your own opinion.
For sure.
Like a grown-ass adult.
For sure. For sure. Man, Edwin, Edgar, you know, Andy, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, Eric, yourself, everybody is just consistent. So that tells me it's real, because there are places where you'll go into and the love will be, the energies you feel it in one office, and then you go to a different location. It's like, damn, is this the same brokerage?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And most of the times the answer is no. They probably have a different owner, different franchisee, different broker.
Right.
Here, the ownership team owns all of it together.
Right.
That's what makes it different.
Right.
Ours was strategically put together and put in place.
Yeah.
We picked a leadership team, and then we opened locations together, and then we plugged people in certain spots. So you got to be strategic when you're scaling, or you are going to lose that culture, and it is going to die.
Right.
You know.
And damn, the scaling, bro, man. I thought y'all was competing with Wawa for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was like, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even visit these places fast enough.
Yeah. And even that, man, like, I don't think that's over either.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. Time will tell, but we already have, you know, a roster at each of those locations that we opened. Wow. So every office is producing, and we're adding agents regularly. Yes. And the training has just been really good, man.
Oh, okay. So here's my next comment. All right. I'm just going to say this, and this is just for whoever. I mean, you know, there's any team in the industry. This is not even real estate, but I don't see how, man, I'm going to talk my shit on here, man. God, I'm going to get in trouble. I don't see how Zoom meetings happen with black squares. I just don't see how, you know, if you're a leader and you have all of your people remote, I get it, and everybody's tuned in, and we're looking at black squares and mics off and no participation. I don't understand what the point of even logging on for that is. You know, even with my team, dude, you need to look like you're looking at the camera. You better win an Academy Award acting like you're paying attention.
Some type of engagement.
I mean, come on. I mean, what's the point?
I'm going to tell you like this. Our Peak Performance Elite Sales Training
on Saturday
that people now pay for, guess what we don't offer? There is no Zoom in option. You're going to show up, and you're going to invest in yourself, because I'm not wasting my time if you won't. That's ridiculous. This is your career. You need to invest in yourself. If I'm putting 50 years of successful experience in your face, why would you not show up? Especially if you pay for it. That's the thing. You got to have people got to put skin in the game, or they're never going to do it. So
wait a minute. So the Saturday training, they pay for it.
Now, yes, we did the first run and compiled the material with a test group, but it was very successful. So yes, now people get charged for it.
So where I'm going with this is that room, non-paid and paid, because I think I came through
full both times.
I mean, I people, I mean,
must be working.
I'm not seeing attendance at like. I'm just going to stop talking, but I'm just saying, like, there's room is packed on a Saturday.
There's a reason, because the information that's getting put out is working. People see their peers with results every time we meet. So,
I mean,
and we based it off of coaching we're receiving. And the people that put it together, the ownership group, we're all top producers. So the information we're providing is from people that actively do it as well.
Right.
From other people that actively do it.
Right.
all over the country, not just Hampton Roads.
Yes.
So, and I think that's been a
That's
key.
a great perspective to have other, the
Absolutely.
fundamentals from other places.
That's been a key in our success, is going in other markets and bringing those ideas back here.
Wow.
Because, you get to a point, like, especially for us, we cracked the top 10, creeping around the top 5. Who around here is going to help me get to where I want to go? Nobody. They don't want to talk to me. I know that. I'm not stupid. But guess what? I don't care. Like, because why would I care? I'm here for my people, my staff, our agents, my business partners, and where we're going and what we're doing. So I'm not, we're never going to be running around here just dogging people or assuming what they're doing to be successful, because we know what's happening out there, bro. We hear the shit and whatever. It's work harder, get around better people.
Again, I see actions behind what you say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I mean, you've got a coach. I mean, somebody, there are people that have not reached your success that would not dare have a coach, because why would I have a coach?
Even when I hired a coach, some of my own business partners were like, that surprised me.
Right.
To me, I'm like, why?
Right.
Because I don't do anything to be not the best.
Right.
So if somebody can make me better, I'm going to do it. It just had to be somebody qualified to do that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I met that person, and it's gone very well.
Hell, Tom Brady's got a quarterback coach. I mean, somebody calls the timeout when Steph is maybe getting, needs to recenter himself, right? Absolutely. I mean, so the best have coaches, and I think that sometimes people will use the financial cost of a coach as an excuse not to get one. But I'm like, how can you not afford it? How can you not afford it? Now, maybe you can't afford a coach and that damn $1,300 car payment, and we might have to make some tough choices.
We call that priorities.
Call it priorities, man. Dude, credit is gold, right? And sometimes people let the glitter get in front of the gold, right? You know what I'm saying? For some of us, it's going to be Jordans for some demographics. For other demographics, it might be a fishing rod, because I've seen both. I didn't know a fishing rod could cost $800. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, people don't have their priorities in line. And the crazy thing about it is whether you are a car fiend or whatever it is that floats your boat, if you put your priorities in order, you would have more of that. When I would skip my bills to get Jordans, I would barely have damn Jordans. I barely had a pot to piss in. I might have 2 or 3 pairs. I mean, now that I put my priorities in order, I can have more of what I want. Yeah. And it's insane. But
it's not, because discipline is required.
Right.
Everybody's got temptation.
For sure.
Who can steer clear of that and get to where they're trying to go.
Yeah. And it's an internal battle every day. I don't win every day, but I'm winning the week. I'm winning the month. I'm winning the year. You only need to win 7 months to win the year. You know what I'm saying?
That's good math. That's good math.
I mean, I'm saying you win 4 days. You win the week. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be perfect. It's what's on that final scoreboard, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's like I guess someone would call it a secret. It's just that I see red, man. I only see job done, job finished. I only see we're going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever come to work or say anything to my leadership or staff that's like, oh, it's a slow month. It's a bad month. I don't know how this is going to go. I just don't talk like that, because I believe that your thoughts become words, and your words become actions, and your actions equal your results.
Damn. You're at the table. And what I mean by that is always, if we could just forget the income or whatever comes with it, if we could just look at things like integrity, work ethic, and just core competencies. And you got Brady at the table. You got Mike. You got LeBron, whoever, right? Mike Tyson, 86 is at the table. 86, though. It's got to be 1986 Tyson. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the only qualifier was just work ethic and core competencies. You're at that table.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? So I do have one question. And, when I was more active in church, when my mom made me go, the pastor would always end with, You know, there may be one in here today, you know, that's ready to, you know, convert. And, you know, when we talk about the crowd out there, and maybe some of them make comments, maybe some of them are haters, but they honestly just want help. If there's one in that crowd today, right? Because you might come across as like a machine to some people that hear this podcast. Can you share a weakness or something that you feel like you need to work on so people know that you're human?
Yeah, man. I am human.
Okay.
Without question.
Right.
Right now.
Need a relatable struggle, bro.
But like in this point in time in my life,
Yeah.
There's struggles as a father.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I have a teenage daughter. My son's 10. I have a stepson that's trying to become a man. You know, there's a lot of things that I do that have nothing to do with work. You know. So yeah, man, I'm human. You know,
Okay.
I have an ex. I have co-parenting. I mean, hell, like I just said, bro, I just put my dad in a box for a heroin overdose. Like, yeah, I'm human.
Yeah.
I flipped those bad energies into something positive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I chose to go home and go to the funeral for my sisters.
Okay.
To say, hey, there's a better way now. Or this is like the passing of the torch. Like, they knew I was the man of the family, but now, you know, when you roll up and you attend a service and you speak and you make sure that nobody's hurting financially, you know, like, yeah, man, I struggle. That shit ain't easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I pulled up in Dayton, Ohio, and drove my wife down this street that made her cry. Like, people don't see that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't really know me.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
The people will come up and say, oh, I know Mike. No, you know of me.
Okay.
You watch me on the internet,
Right.
but you don't know me.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
People will come out of their mouth with your name and don't know shit about you.
Right.
Or they'll be talking about you with other people in the industry and they'll see you out at events, but they want to approach you or talk to you in human, like real face-to-face life.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of times where I get, hey, Mike, I follow you. You're an inspiration. Thanks for all your motivation. So those are the people that keep me going.
Right.
So yes, I am human, but I feed off of helping those other people get through the struggles that I've gotten through.
Okay.
So, but yeah, man, co-parenting, teenage girls are crazy. You know, my son, you know, he lives in what some would consider a broken home, right? He's with his mom half the time, with me half the time.
Okay.
I'm remarried. Both the households are different type of lifestyles, you
Right.
know, like as a father, as a husband, those are all things I'm dealing with, you know. My wife runs a very successful restaurant here in Virginia Beach, so she works a lot. Like this weekend, she's pulling back-to-back doubles Friday and Saturday. You know, people don't think about that or see that, but
Right.
that impacts a man,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
But I'm also there to support her too. So if she's working back-to-back doubles as a man, I'm going to help her out, right?
Okay.
I'm going to hold down the kids. I'm going to clean the house up. I'm going to tend to the pets. So
Right.
yeah, man, we all have a struggle.
Okay.
I just don't bitch about it.
Right. Right.
Because to me, this isn't a struggle. And that's where it becomes like really real. Like people I made a post about these school drop-off lines are harder than the work week a couple weeks back, and people were like,
Yeah.
it was really funny, right?
Right.
But in reality, like, I really don't care because there was a time where I didn't get to take my kids to and from school. I spent 14 years in the Navy, man. I spent
Right.
over 2,200 days floating in the ocean.
Wow.
So I appreciate things that other people don't miss. And then when you think about how I grew up, I feel blessed just to even pull in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's why I thought this shit, fuck you, Drake.
Yeah.
Virginia Beach is, to me, it's the best place I've ever lived.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Like, if you're complaining about Virginia Beach, I don't know.
Oh, for
You
sure.
ain't from the bottom of nothing.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
that's just crazy to me. So,
Yeah.
no, I'm thankful because I know what it's like to have nothing, man.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, I'm human. I cry, I scream, I yell. Even just think about like a company meeting.
Right.
There's 5 owners and 5 people on staff, and like just the amount of things that you manage behind the scenes.
Right.
Just completing the taxes for multiple different companies in a year. Like,
Right.
yes, I am not a machine.
Right.
Well, you know what? I am a machine. I just don't break down in public. I don't break down in front of other people. I only am vulnerable in spaces with people that truly love me.
For sure.
Meaning my leadership group, my staff,
Yes.
my family.
Yes.
You know, they know when I'm hurting.
Right.
They know when I'm struggling. They can tell when Mike's off. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they reach out to me and they truly care for me because I do the same thing for them. You know, I'm not going to do a press run about, oh, my life's so bad. I hope I don't need surgery, you know, like, but my people know.
Right.
I've been updating them like, hey, I have this follow up. I have this follow up. I'm getting a second opinion, you know, because they want me happy and healthy too. You know what I mean? Like we all trying to win, but everybody has a struggle, man. Everybody. Right. And I think that as a man who is what I would consider successful, it's important that people should know that. Like, yeah, I'm not any different than anybody else. That's why I tell people, like, if you don't have what you want, it's your fucking fault.
Okay. No, for real.
Like, for real. Oh, it must be nice. You're so lucky, blah, blah, blah. No. I made decisions. That's what happened. Right. I could have laid down. I could have quit many times. I didn't. I chose not to. Right. So it's up to you, period. Yeah. And if you tell me otherwise, I'm just not going to hear it because I've been through too much. And, you know,
So that answer is basically going to inspire the person that needed to hear it, hopefully. And for everybody else, then maybe it just kind of takes the excuse away from them.
But it's crazy too, man, because I guess I don't see myself like other people see me. Mm-hmm. My wife and my kids and people tell me that all the time. Edwin actually says it all the time. I guess some people do perceive me that way, man. Yeah. And I'm glad they do because that's what I want. But yeah, it doesn't come without tears. It doesn't come without sleepless nights. It doesn't come without wondering if you're going to be able to pay all the bills. It doesn't come without wondering. I mean, every event we put on, I hope that we have a good turnout. Every time we open a new office, I hope we sign enough agents to pay the bills. Like, you know, but I don't speak about those things because I want to manifest my life. So I don't speak to the negative. I don't speak to the possibility of not making it because I don't believe in those things.
For sure.
So that's my philosophy.
Circles back to what you said earlier about your mentality, your outlook. You're not thinking the negative. I'm going to win. This is going to work.
I have to.
Right.
I have to. I done made it through. I done made it through all the hard shit.
Right.
How I can't make it now.
Right.
That's crazy to me. I believe I determine my own destiny. Do I think there are things that happen that we don't control and everything happens for a reason? Absolutely. But do I believe that it's ultimately on you to make the right decisions at the right time? Absolutely. Preparation and opportunity equals luck.
Yes.
The harder you work, the luckier you're going to get. You know, and we actually have a whole episode on hustle versus luck. So,
holy crap!
But yeah, man, that's how I feel about it. But yeah, I deal with a lot of stuff, man. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a friend. I'm a brother. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different hats that I wear that have nothing to do with real estate. You know, so
love it. Love it. Hat you have on now says "Do your thing." That's basically
I mean life. that's the Iron Valley motto. You know,
Iron Valley's cold, man. It's cold, man. Because the other ones make your move, so it's kind of like you're telling agents, make your move over here.
Well, that's exactly.
You tell another brokerage, hey, motherfucker, make your move now.
You're also telling clients to make their move, right?
That's crazy. that's the slogan.
So that's the thing too, is the training and the podcast, all of that kind of meshed with, because Iron Valley does have do your thing, find your thing, make your move. We got your back. Yeah. So the Peak Performance Elite Sales Training. Now we have a Your Peak Life podcast. We have Reach Your Peak, Live Your Peak Life. Right. Conquer the Summit of Sales. Yes. How high will you climb? Climb higher. Like we just went bananas with the wordplay because that's in the realm of the branding. Right. You know. Right. And it makes sense. Like, this is a tough industry. Yeah. Sometimes we make it look easy, but it's not, man. Right. It's not. I posted Michael Jordan's video like a week ago. Okay. Sometimes I just watch back the what was the show, man? He just did
Last Dance.
Yeah, I've watched that like 30 times. Yes, just because I'm a huge MJ fan, and
that's one area I could compete with. I might be a bigger MJ fan than you.
But his video of maybe I ruined the game. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Like maybe I made you think this was easy. Right. You know, but no, it isn't, man. Like, we get up late, we get up early, go to bed late almost every day, man. Our ownership group is talking at 5, 6 in the morning every single day.
Oh, man, people ain't even up at 5, 6.
Nah, man, it's different. I'm telling you. I had to tell my admin this morning in our chat, hey, I don't expect anyone to be working right now. This is just a data dump for me, because that is the energy here. We wake up every single day and get to work. Wow. There is no, what are we doing? Like, no, we meet every Tuesday. We have an itinerary and action items of what we're doing. We have a director of operations. We have an admin in every office. We have a managing partner or broker in every office. Like, this is not a game for us.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm not out here just trying to post numbers. We're out here trying to change lives. And that's the difference.
That's scary.
So, yeah, it's not going to stop anytime soon. It's not possible.
I love it.
Like,
I love it.
like, go ahead and take them holidays off. We'll be out here working. You know?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, fourth quarter is my favorite time of the year.
Nice.
I'm also a December baby and a Sagittarius in front of Midwest. So
Okay.
that's where the rugged and the work ethic and the energy really comes from. Like,
Right.
when people here are complaining it's cold outside, I'm from a place where we go look for shovels and snowplows to make money.
Right.
It's not the same mentality, bro.
Yeah.
You want a snow day so you don't have to do shit. Where I'm from, we want snow day so we can do shit and make money. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just very different. So this area and the people that do what we do actually make it very simple for me and our entire team to be successful because we think differently, we operate differently, we come from different places. We're so diverse and open to listening to each other that it's just, I think it's a perfect concoction.
Man.
You think about it, about everybody involved. We're all different. We all move different, but we're moving in one general direction.
Yeah.
Correct.
Love it.
And we listen to each other, you know. We fight, we argue, we don't always agree on everything.
Right.
But we're grown.
Yes.
We're adults. There's a little something called a vote.
Right.
Right? And any organization and civil human beings can find a happy medium and move forward.
Right.
You know, I don't think it's that hard. Just do right by people, man. That's for real. Like, that's the secret. None of it would exist if we didn't all work with each other instead of like a lot of people want to step on each other and stab each other in the back to get where they're going. And
yeah,
that's a failing business model.
in the industry. I mean, that's not necessarily real estate specific. You know,
no,
that's any
life.
business. Yeah, that's
life in general.
Even in a family unit, you know what I mean? Managing a household, you got to be on the same page. I see a lot of that where.
And once you let disrespect in, it's all downhill from there, right?
Right.
So same thing in a company, same thing in anything, a board of directors, the organization as a whole. You know, you can't be out here disrespecting your employees, disrespecting your business partners, treating your clients like shit. You're just not going to make it.
Right.
You know, and you shouldn't, quite frankly. Right. Like, you're bad for society. You know what I mean? Like, if everybody's always just doing something for themselves, we're going to lose humanity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The other secret, man, is just don't be greedy. That's another thing, too. Like, I've never been greedy.
Okay.
I've always brought people with me.
Right.
I never, you know, somebody asks you or they're interested in what you do and how you're doing it. I never was like, oh, nah, you don't want to do this. Or, you know, no, I brought everybody I could with me. I want everybody to win, man.
For
like,
sure.
I do. There's no reason to be unhappy in life.
Yeah.
So if I can help you change that, that's what I do.
I saw Jama, right? Butterbush. She's broker now, right?
Yeah, she's the broker in charge of the North Carolina office now. Yeah, man. So, again, picking the right people and cultivating the right relationships, putting the right people in the right places. But none of that happens without first treating people right.
Right.
You know,
right.
She wouldn't.
Shout out to Butterbush on your promotion. Take it over. That's what's up.
But, you know, to that point, she never comes here if she doesn't build a relationship with certain people that are here.
Right.
You know, Kat was on Edgar's team. Melissa Hecker came over and was on Edgar's team, and they all had previous relationships. And by proxy of her hearing how their life was enhanced or changed coming here, she ultimately ended up here, right? Mm-hmm. And then we tapped her on the shoulder, said, hey, we would love to have you as part of the leadership team, and took some time with it. And, you know, she made the decision she made, and now we're going to rock out. So.
Yeah, it's like a lot of your core people could lead other places. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
100%. Well,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's put that in perspective, right? So Eric and I looked at each other one day and was like, man, we're growing. We need help, right? So we look around. Who's really supporting the brand? Who's really recruiting? Who's really closing deals? And those are the people that we proposed ownership to, you know. Thankfully, they all obliged, and we made 3 new owners. So now you have Edgar, Edwin, and Andy. Mm-hmm. But what people miss or don't understand is that if Eric and I don't make that move, where do they go?
Right.
They go run their own brokerage one day.
Right.
They're not just team leads. They're not just top producers. They're business-minded men. They're family men. They want to leave a legacy. So to us, the most intelligent thing to do was to keep that talent in-house. You always want to expand internally first. And if I didn't do that, who knows? We might not have 3 more offices. We might not have 200 and whatever agents it is that we have now. We might not have the amount of closings we have or the training program that we built. All of those things, but they all go back to a decision. How are we going to grow and who are we going to do it with? Well, it's going to be based on performance and merit. You know, because some people were out there talking shit that we didn't have female leadership. Well, now we do. Just so happened we was waiting on the right one.
Yeah.
And Jama is highly qualified.
For sure.
You know, so people will find any reason to bash the people that are winning, you know. But I just found it as absolutely ridiculous. Like, I led sailors for years. I never showed favoritism to any sex. You were a sailor. You could take out the trash the same way. You can run that piece of gear the same way. You're going to show up to muster on time. You have uniform regulations to abide by. Like, I don't see sex, gender, race, religion, none of that shit.
Right.
Can you do the job? Can you not? All that other shit I don't care about.
100%.
And real estate is a female-dominant industry in our area particularly.
Right.
So it's not like we're avoiding female leadership. Our director of operations is a woman.
Yes.
She's been with us since day one. Lori Serrano. She's phenomenal.
Love Lori.
We could not run this company without her, right? If you look at the corporate side, they have a female partner in corporate as well. So it's just like people don't know what they don't know. And they're going to say and do whatever they can if they're not part of the show.
Right.
And that's fine. You know, if you want to come actually talk to somebody and get to know them, we're here.
For sure. For sure.
You know, we're not going nowhere. But that's it, man. I don't really have anything else unless you do.
Nah, man, that was.
I feel like it's been a good conversation.
I think it's been a great conversation.
There should be some clips from this one.
I think so. I think so. This is dope.
We appreciate you coming in, man.
Come on, man. Anytime, brother. Anytime,
Absolutely.
man. I'm glad I got to sit down with you, bro.